Wow. Here
Hello.
we are.
Here we are again.
Happy Sunday, Jim.
Happy Sunday. We've
Yes.
made it. Thank whatever you believe in. Thank the Lord. Thank you know
Thank you,
we
Ja.
we've made it here safely.
Yes.
And to all the people, I would like you to introduce you all to In the Gym with Jim. I am your host, Jim. Pleasure to meet you guys if it's the first time. And I would like you guys to meet my friend, my dog, my right hand,
Yes, sir.
my business partner,
Come
and
on.
now my co-host.
Yes.
And you can introduce yourself. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes. My name is Tristan, founder of Driven by Will,
There you go.
and I'm so happy to be here and to be able to be featured as your episode one. I think it's such an honor. So thank you for having me. I think this is going to be fantastic. We made it through the snowstorm, Jim.
We did. We did make it through the snow. I thought I wasn't going to. I thought I wasn't going to, man. It was dark days getting out there.
Dark days,
It was dark days.
shoveling. You know what I mean?
Man, listen. I understand I'm in the gym and I'm lifting and doing all these things. I don't want to shovel snow, man.
No one does, man.
I don't want to shovel snow. And I talk about living in a condo, an apartment all the time for the simple convenience of I don't want to shovel snow for the rest of my life, man.
So for the viewers out there, if you want to get Jim a Christmas present, snow blowers, those electronic snow shovels. There we go. That's the one. Ryobi.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna make a GoFundMe for a snow machine, a snow blower, because this is nuts. It was nuts. 22 centimeters. We're looking like 3 feet. Like it's dark, man. It was dark days,
Yeah, here we are.
and here we are. I'm very excited to bring this to the world. As you know, Tristan, I have been. This has been something I wanted to do for a really long time. I have always enjoyed talking to a camera. I've always enjoyed being able to share my thoughts and my honest opinions about a plethora of different things.
Okay.
And having the in the gym with Jim space is something that I've held on to for a very long time. Maybe just nervous about actually doing it and bringing it to
Of course.
the world and letting someone else look at it and talk about it or like it, dislike it, whatever the case may be. But
Sure.
it's time.
Okay.
It is time, and I'm happy we are here, and I'm happy I'm doing it with you, my friend, and I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
You know what
It's
I mean?
my pleasure. And you know what? I think to your point of really realizing something that you want to do so bad, and it finally coming to fruition, I think is special, right? Because there's so many logistics that goes into it, like the planning stages,
Yes.
the equipment, whatever the case may be. I think just going back to the fact that, listen, I think putting yourself in front of a camera alone could be nerve wracking.
It is, man. It's one of the questions that I get a lot of times. Like, are you comfortable with being in the camera talking to essentially yourself?
Right.
And I am, honestly. Like, I've been very fortunate that I've been put into positions where I've had to speak and I've been able to, share my thoughts about things I agree with or don't agree with.
Sure.
People have taken my word, which is good, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, for better or worse, you know what I mean? So, this setup, I think, suits me, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. One thing that I haven't shared very much, but this is a platform so I'll share here.
Okay.
At some point in my life, I don't know when, but at some point in my life, I would love to be like a public speaker.
Wow.
Yeah, I would love.
Wow.
Yeah, I would love to do like a large TED talk with like, the mic over my ears, and you have it on your face,
Incredible.
and just walk around and talk to a bunch of people about something that I'm passionate about, not knowledgeable about.
I
I
see.
I would love to get there, and during COVID, I was able to go to my school, WA Porter. Shout out SATEC. Thank you, Mr. Roden, Justin Bob,
Shout out, Mr. Roden.
Mrs. John, for allowing me to come speak. And I know I didn't put my best foot forward, but it was honestly my first time ever sitting, and it was virtual, so I knew we had a lot of people listening. But
Interesting.
yeah, so it was like a presentation
Okay.
where we talked about building playground, how we got there, what we did, during Black History Month, and it wasn't my best foot forward looking back on it,
Mm-hmm.
but it definitely got me into the space where I'm like, yeah, I need to be able to do this better.
Now, mentioning that it's a virtual,
Yes.
looking back into that, why do you feel as if, oh, I could have done things differently? Why do I feel like I did not start off correctly?
Yeah, I feel for myself, it was virtual,
Mm-hmm.
as we keep referencing, but everything wasn't pieced together the way I would have liked it. Like I had clips, I had videos, I had everything going, and I had someone else behind me as well, um, who was to speak. We had like a allotted time. I was supposed to keep it to maybe like 5 to 8 minutes. I probably went over that,
Yes.
and I found it hard to get all the points across in a very like tight
Concise.
time window.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And be able to hit all the points I really want to hit
Right.
without rambling about the dreams and how we got here and the yellow tape you had to run through and all those things. Like
Wow.
it was a struggle to elaborate on the difficulties and then the victories while being in that time frame and then
Right.
still get into everything I want to do. And that's when I realized that I have a tendency sometimes to ramble and like get on a point and really harp on it because I feel like it's important.
I see.
But sometimes when you're doing these talks, it's really what's important to the people you're giving the information to and who you're sharing it with. And I just wasn't at the time. I was a rookie. I was green. Like I wasn't able. I wasn't able to give the people what I felt was a good product. Even though
Right.
people were very kind and were like, "You did a good job. You just talked a lot." Essentially, was the feedback I got back.
Yes.
But now I realize, yes,
Mhm.
I ramble a lot, and I want to be better at that. So I want to be able to like get my point across in
Yeah.
a more concise manner.
And you know what? For the viewers and listeners, as you get to know Jim, you'll realize that deep down he's a true yapper. He will not stop, especially things he's passionate about. And now, what I'm really excited about too is now that you look back and you look at the things that you could have done differently, you can now implement it to this platform where
Yes.
you are free, where you are able to speak about things that you generally really enjoy as far as topics is concerned.
Yes.
Whether it's emotional or spiritual, discussions, it's now here.
Yes.
So, since this is episode 1, I would like to understand, obviously for the viewers and listeners too, what is in the gym with Jim? What is the foundation? What did you envision for this when you thought about it?
Yeah. So for in the gym with Jim, how it kind of came to be, like my thought process was that I want to build a platform in a space to have open dialogue and conversations
Okay.
with different people from different walks of life, and to be able to not only share the victories but also share like where we fell short, the losses, and kind of how the journey goes. We always okay, maybe not we, but I always find that a lot of the platforms that I tend to check in with, you hear either how they won and how they got there and what that felt like in that moment,
Right.
or the loss and how they feel about and what they're gonna do to bounce back. But the build up to it is typically the story of what people and myself are most interested in.
Interesting.
So to give the people the background, when I was doing playground during COVID and everything else, a lot of the questions you got were about, how's it feel? This is great. What are you guys gonna do next? What are you guys gonna do next? What are you guys gonna do next? And obviously we want to build more, and we did, and we got to where we want to get to, in a way.
Yeah.
But what I always found more interesting and what I was always more passionate about was like what it took to get there, the tape we had to get through, the conversation we had to have.
Wow.
Like picking the places, how you pick the places, how that kind of worked out, why we didn't go there, and then furthermore, why it didn't work out in certain places. Why did you have to close that? Like, what you have to do? Those, conversations that you have,
Yes.
I always found really, really interesting and really captivating, and I want people to be able to share that, and I just want to create a space where people can do that. Also, that's what I enjoy talking about.
Wow.
Building and kind of getting there.
Yes.
As a person who's been able to hold a lot of like C-level roles and be a director in different companies, it I have a general understanding of like how to kind of get there.
Yes.
But no one's story is the same. Like mine and your story will never be the same of like how you got to where you are today and where I am today.
That is correct.
And I would love to talk about how you got there today.
Yeah.
And the weeds and like everyone doesn't want to skip over.
Right.
Yo, I did this, but now I'm here. Yeah, I get that, but you know the minutia and the in between stuff is very, very important.
I agree.
Yeah.
And similar to what you're speaking of, in reference, for example, you open up social media and you see a guy who's maybe overweight, perhaps obese, and then within that 20, 30-second reel, you'll see the beginning and you'll see the end.
Yes.
And you never see the in between.
Yeah.
It's always this person went down or has always been down, and all of a sudden now they've lost 50, 70, 60 pounds.
Yeah.
But you never really see the in between, which for me as a guest and as a co-host today is, it's beautiful that people like yourself want to talk about the struggle.
Yeah.
Want to talk about how it took me from point A to literally not even point B, but to point Z.
Yeah.
What are the physical challenges, the emotional, the spiritual? What are the things that people struggle about that I feel we don't talk about enough?
Yeah.
Whether it's friends or a close knit group, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And so going back to talking about the beauty of the struggle, Jim, like going from where you are and where you are now, because 2025 I believe was a very transformative year.
Yeah.
Some people would even say maybe I was lower in 2025 than I was in 24.
Yeah.
So now that we're in 26, do you feel that people's stories as far as struggles are concerned are universal in nature, where we're going through the same difficulties, we're going through the same struggles, yet the fact that there is no platform to talk about things allow for you to see that, hey, maybe the story that I'm going through is the same as the person across me. Like everyone has a story.
Correct.
So that being said, I'd love to pick your brain on ultimately are struggles universal in a sense that there is maybe a one size fits all solution to all these problems, or no?
No. So I am very big on that. There isn't a one size solution for a lot of the problems that we all go through. However, a lot of the problems I feel, this is just me here, I feel are closely like connected. So a lot of people that I've talked to lately, and you know, let's talk about like building this platform. Let's say that. Okay, so
Right.
we're building in the Jimm with Jimm, right? This content series, conversational series, what we're doing.
Absolutely.
I've had a number of people who want to get into content creation, for example, and doubt themselves.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I've had people who also want to start their own platform and sharing their struggles to help somebody else who may be struggling who isn't talking about it. And this used to use those two examples. We all run into the thing where like, okay, yeah, sharing our story and how we got here, like the thought process of like doing what we want to do,
Right.
is tough. I think we can all agree that it is tough to share your story
It's
if
tough.
it isn't great.
Sure.
Like, if we don't deem our story to be okay, transformative and amazing, whatever the case may be, you probably
see.
wouldn't share it. So looking at your point where someone who was maybe obese and then they do a 30-second reel and now they're in shape,
Right.
now they can share all the in shape stuff and they can talk about how that went through, but they in that 30 seconds they didn't share like the nights where things were hard or things were difficult or we were fighting or that meal we didn't want to eat. You know what I mean? Like on that side of things. And the same thing in business. So when we're trying to build this platform, and this episode will probably come out and we'll have a couple listeners, a couple of viewers, and then that could, for a lot of people, that could be it. Because
Right.
they're like, you know what, this didn't get the reception that I wanted, and now I'm out.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
I
And
see.
same thing for a content creator who will go in and just drop a video, and they'll be like, hey, this video did 100 views,
Okay.
and I have 80 followers. It's not adding up. I'm done with this. This is embarrassing. And then you move
Wow.
on. And that's why I feel like every solution, there isn't like one way to fix the solution. However, the problems that we're all facing probably are very similar because in all what I mentioned, obviously based on what we're talking about,
Yeah.
it's probably like internal. It's not external. Like
I see.
the fact that 100 people watched your video means something because 100 people are a lot of people.
Hey, 100 people could fill up, like an amphitheater in a university,
It's
college.
it's a serious thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But how it looks based today in 2025,
I see.
2026, it changes your perspective on how that goes, and it becomes very hard to continue pushing what you want to do and where you want to get to.
I love that.
And that's why this platform, I feel,
Yes.
will eventually be important to people.
Okay.
Because actually, I can give you some insight. So I dropped a video 2 days ago that today maybe has 17K views. The most views I've
17,000?
the most views I've ever, second most views I ever got on a platform,
Wow.
right? And then I dropped a video today when I checked before we started recording, had 82 views.
Okay.
Now I can look at it and be like, you know what? I'll let this marinate, and I'm done with dropping, and I'm just gonna focus on something else. Or I can be like, let's just keep pushing and keep it going. But it is tough.
It is difficult.
You know what I mean? Sitting here right now, it does bother me that I have 17 on one and 82 under 100 on other. It doesn't feel the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest here. It doesn't feel the greatest, but that could deter a lot of people. I'm not saying I'm more motivated, disciplined than the other person. I'm just saying currently my bigger picture isn't whether it's 14 or it's 82.
Wow.
I have a bigger picture. Like, my bigger picture is hopefully impact. And whatever conversation that we start having, someone else can have with their group and their friend group and their family, and that can trickle down. What that looks like for us,
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows what that looks like? But today, right now,
Yes.
that is the goal. The impact of what it is.
And I love your usage of the word impact because I feel a lot of people self-select out, and you framed it perfectly and really hit the bullseye on this one. When you say people self-select out simply because they feel that their stories aren't impactful enough.
Yes.
And there are a lot of individuals, including myself, Jim, where I feel as if I'm not even going to make a ripple in this pond that we're in right now.
Yeah.
So why bother?
Yeah.
So that being said, what do you feel is the differentiator between somebody who is fearless in hitting record versus somebody who looks in the mirror and goes, who would even want to hear my story? What is I don't want to embarrass myself, man, because if I put content out there, I get 10, 20, 30 views and I'm here pouring my heart out and no one's listening. There's an element of embarrassment. So
Yes, there is.
what is obviously this is a very, very broad question and it takes a certain personality, but what is the different how do you differentiate somebody who presses record versus somebody who self-selects out almost immediately based on self-doubt?
You know what, man? It's that, you know what it is that is a very broad question, and it is a tough one to answer. But if I was looking at inwards or looking at myself, when I'm sitting and I'm about to press, actually, you know what? Let's just make it about me, because it's not about me, right? Let's make it about me. My issue is never pressing record.
Wow.
It's not pressing record. It's actually pressing post. That's where I have the anxiety.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not pressing record. Like today when we sat down on this couch to press record on that does not bother me. I'm ready to go. Once these are on, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Now when I edit this and we put into the clips, pressing post on the clips is where everything changes, because we can do this 100 times to record whatever until we find the video. Like if someone's in their car right now, the video,
yeah, right.
you can do it a bunch of times. No one knows how much time it took you to make that recording or that post. How long? No one knows.
8 takes.
Nobody knows.
Right.
And that's why I tell people you shouldn't worry about talking to the camera, like what that looks like. You also shouldn't worry about posting, to be clear. But if you had a fear, it would be the time you posted. It shouldn't be the time you're recording. Anything you're passionate about recording will come across the way you're speaking about it.
I see.
Because as someone who also enjoys social media, the post that I enjoy the most is when somebody is either very passionate or it's very clear that what they're talking about, joking about, making light about, whatever the situation is, they feel that way.
Wow.
Right? Like that's how that goes. So for me, someone enjoys it, that's what I look for. So the moment you post something that you feel like I'm just doing it to catch a buzz or whatever,
Right.
that's when you come across. That's when you come across to me corny, and then that's I feel when the comments reflect that.
Interesting.
That's how I feel about the whole social media posting, whatever the case may be.
And I love that. I think a lot of people also, maybe perhaps didn't go down to layers of sharing their stories. Is the fact that perhaps recording is the easiest part. It's, to your point, it's the hitting post where people are afraid perhaps of judgment.
Yeah.
Right. And so on that, I love how you framed it. Now, my question to you is, what makes people perhaps be not authentic to themselves? There are people who are absolutely inauthentic to themselves,
Yeah.
who do content just purely off of engagement.
Yes. Yeah,
Whereas, yourself and myself in a similar nature, we post because we legitimately want people to hear what we have to talk about based on similar struggles.
yeah.
How is it that those who are more authentic to themselves versus those who are inauthentic, where does the difference lie in terms of how you see their content, how you consume what they're putting out there, and what is the kind of, the outside of, because it's sometimes inauthentic people can come off as authentic,
Yeah, facts.
right? They've done it so well to the point where they can simply mask and hide whatever, who they truly are. Where is the differentiator in that, and for those two types of archetypes, of those two personalities?
Man, I honestly want to tell you I know I don't. I really, really don't. Like, I think it takes a certain kind of person or cut from a specific kind of cloth that wants to go out there and just be themselves and then figure it out from there.
Right.
Because it's always, I always find it's easier to be yourself and scale up to what is required than it is to be somebody else and scale down to what they need.
Wow.
Because don't do that, Chuck.
Come on. Repeat that. That's incredible.
You know what I mean? Like, when you're yourself, you can add to yourself. Like, you can add to your bag. Let's make this basketball, because that's the easiest thing for me to talk about.
Okay.
If you go out there and you're a person who has a jump shot,
Okay.
right? Then you can add a crossover. You can add it behind the back. You can add moves to make it easier for you to get your jump shot off. Now, when you're someone who's all handles with no finish, no jumps, it's very tough for you to add a jump shot later in life.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like, you it's hard to be the anomaly to add something that isn't you.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? You can. It's not out of the realm to think like you can't add something. You can add something that isn't you later down in life, but it's harder. You know what I mean? So, again, keeping it basketball, Jason Kidd coming to the league was not a great shooter. He was not. That was the fact of life. He was not a great shooter.
No, he's trash
at shooting. But before the shooting era of Steph Curry, he finished top 5 in three-point makes.
Right.
So that means he came into a bad shooter, and in the league he added shooting to make himself stay longer and make himself more relevant and be able to win the chip with with the Mavs.
Yes.
Like that's how that grew. Now you can't go and find a bunch of Jason Kidds adding stuff to their bag like that extreme. Adding shooting is tough. So if you make it to like a content thing,
yes,
when you aren't yourself and someone says, "Hey, I want you to be, authentic to how you feel about this product or these products or whatever is required," and then the one time you're yourself about it, people are like, "I don't like that," because it happens to a lot of people. Like, I think right now maybe you can't think of it, but after this recording, when we sit down, you can probably think of people you followed or if you enjoyed it on social media who changed and you were like, "I don't like that. I don't like this anymore," and now I'm out. And that's how that works.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Because now they're like, "Okay, I got you guys in. I have
Hook,
X
line,
amount
sinker,
of amount of followers. Now I can tell you who I really am." People are like, "No. That's why I'm here." But if you were yourself and you have to fight through the weeds with 82 views, 100 views, and you have to build up whatever, and people are like, "Okay, I'm here because I like Christopher who Trizzy is," and that's where it's staying. And whatever Trizzy adds, I may not love, but I will stay around because I like who this person is.
Who he truly is.
Who he truly is. And that's the biggest difference in anything, not only content creation. I know very little about that, but
Sure.
in general, when I was in business,
Yes.
one of the things that I would take, on the chest, like this is my badge, is that every room I walked into, CEO, director, president, manager, whatever, I was myself. How
Okay.
you feel about that, it is what it is. I'll take it. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like, obviously, you dress differently and whatever, but the way I speak, the way I go about things, how I get to the point, I was Jim or I was Jamie, whatever. I'm myself.
And you were never this person who was in that room to appease others or
What's the point?
right.
Obviously, I want the business. You want
Of course.
what's happening. But if I go into this room and I am this person or I'm this person on this Zoom call,
Right.
and then once the Zoom call's over, everything changes and you'd be like, like who's the person I'm talking to? You know what I mean?
That's what, and in the world of it's a very superficial world that we live in right now, where the external perception of yourself sometimes overpowers that of your internal perspective of you.
Yeah.
Like you've shifted your personality so much based on what other people think that you forget the inside. Out externally you're a knight in shining armor. Internally you're rotten.
Yeah.
Right? And truth be told, like that's something that I personally have struggled with, especially, with whether it's my personal relationships, whether it's, walking into a room where I don't know anybody. There's always this struggle of what will someone think about me? What is someone's first, how do people view me externally when I walk into a room?
Yeah.
And going back to kind of speaking about authenticity is in a world where external perception is so powerful, what advice or guidance would you give to somebody who is struggling with that?
Yo, honestly, I think for me for a long time, what I struggled with was being okay with who I was,
Okay.
how I presented myself. Mostly, it was mostly like exterior. So like how I looked, how I presented myself, what I was doing. Those things for me were really. It was a tough goal for a while,
Right.
and you have to. I think as to start internally, you have to first love yourself and who you are, how you walk into these rooms, literally like how you walk, how you look, how you fit into whatever you're presenting yourself as. Like in that suit you're bringing the business meeting to, do you feel comfortable in that suit?
I see.
You know what I mean?
I
Because
see.
we're all presenting ourselves to people on a daily basis. As much as we say we're out here dressing, we want to dress for us. Yes, we are. But for us, no one wants to go out looking crazy. Yeah, no one wants to go out looking crazy, and at least want to go out looking comfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
At the bare minimum, you want to go out looking comfortable.
Yes.
So at the point where you start feeling uncomfortable, that's for me is where the struggle starts to seep in. And I'm not saying you'll get in the gym, lose 20 pounds, you're gonna feel great, and you're gonna no. However, you have to feel comfortable in you enough to take. You have to feel comfortable in yourself enough to take the necessary steps to then be able to walk into a room and then feel comfortable in that room. Okay, so to be clear, feel comfortable within yourself. So when you're in uncomfortable situations, you can always fall back on the comfort you have within yourself.
I see.
You know what I mean?
Very interesting.
Yeah, like I think that's where a lot of it lies from. Like when you go into an interview for a job that pays maybe 10 20K more than you're making now,
Sure.
the uncomfortability is that okay, now I got to go in and present myself again, and now I got to be put myself in uncomfortable positions. But let's just say you go into that role or that interview knowing I'm bringing what this role needs. You know that. That's why you apply for it. That's why you got an interview. Something you have within you on your resume or whatever the case may be is something that they require.
The skills you possess is something they need.
Yeah, at the bare minimum, you know that. So what?
True.
There's nothing to worry about. At that point, nothing to worry about. You just have to worry about what skills they're looking for and then elaborate on
And
it.
emphasize.
So whenever anybody asks me any interview advice, if it's making it work, bro, go in there, find what it is that you do well,
that they need.
And that they need, that's gonna bring value, and spam it over and over and over again. I don't
Spam skills.
Spam the skills, bro. Go on 2K. If that tween behind the back grab works every single time,
go-to.
why change it? Why change it? It doesn't work. The Warriors haven't stopped running a split action in like 10 years because
Facts.
it works.
Facts.
They spam it over and over and over again because it works. Don't change what works, man. You know what you bring to the table.
Right.
They have a table and they want you to bring something to it.
Yes.
Bring it.
And
over and over and over again.
I feel as if 2026 is a very, very transformative year, not only for yourself and myself, but perhaps for majority of the population, because 2025 was a tough year. Some it will be very successful. Now, in that topic of transformation and really kind of going through the motions, let me take that back. You've already went through the motions,
to say the least.
right? Now, from a transformative perspective, how does someone begin? You know, you've realized your losses. You understand this is where I went wrong. These are the things I could improve. Sure, maybe you've written them down on a piece of paper, but how does one actually take that into action? And I'm going to reference here, Jim, your personal weight loss journey.
Yeah.
One day you simply said, you know what, I this can't be the normal anymore. And lo and behold, after a few months, you've dropped significantly, in terms of obviously your physique. What is that catalyst that you find that said, you know what, enough is enough. I'm tired of struggling. I need to transform the way I live.
So I'm gonna bring it back to the point we just made, bro. Being uncomfortable with yourself. For me, the whole weight loss thing started because when I was on my feet for a while, I felt uncomfortable. And I would ask, friends, I'm like, yo, when you stand up for a long time, like, your feet don't, he's like, yeah, but like, you move around, you're blessed. When I was on my feet for a long time, I felt really uncomfortable. Like, I felt heavy, they hurt. And that is a terrible, terrible feeling. Yes. I didn't think I was specifically like obese or whatever, but I was a huskier gentleman. I'll use huskier. I was a huskier gentleman, and bro, standing just felt like after a while it's got annoying. I was always on my feet, right? So, I hooped a lot.
Yes.
I was working out, but my eating wasn't matching like the output of workout I was doing.
See.
So like there was no real balance. But that was it for me. When I realized like I was standing on my feet and I was really, really uncomfortable, I'm like, yeah, this is it. No, there's no way. There is no way I'm gonna be standing in Crocs, and I can't stand in Crocs for a long time. This is nuts. Yes, I love Crocs, bro. Don't make that. I'm not looking at you. Don't make that face. Yo, Crocs, hit us up, man. Send
For the viewers and listeners, Jim is the #1 Crocs ambassador. He has several Crocs in several different colors. Yep. And probably even different sizes, but don't mind me.
Yeah, I love Crocs. Crocs in the PR package. Listen, man, that's when I knew for myself that I had to make a change.
Yes.
Right? One with the feet. Secondly, I was just tired of buying like the different sizes of clothing. You know what I mean?
So I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. Please, it is fine. Cause what would happen? The way I do it to ensure that I would stay like in a way I feel comfortable.
Sure.
I would always buy clothes to the size that I want it to be.
So for example, does that mean like, let's for example say you're in between an L and XL, you would always buy an L?
Always buy L.
Okay.
Designer L, and anybody knows that buy designer L. Designer L's they're pinched. They squeeze. They squeeze. If you want to be humbled and you're on the cuffs of being like a L, like a large, buy a designer L, put that bitch on and see how you feel. It will tell you real quick. You might need that lean ground beef, my boy. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that went for me. And
not
then
the 90-10 ground beef.
Yeah, hey man, 97.3. Let's really lock in. Let's get serious. So yeah, those things would happen, and
I see.
I would go shopping, and then the L's go to XL, and during this time you want like a baggier, more comfortable look.
Of course.
So maybe you have like a double XL.
Yeah.
But now you feel crazy because you're in double XL. you know what size you're in. Yes, you want the bigger look,
Right.
but you have to get the bigger size because you want the bigger look, and it fits you a way that like it doesn't look as baggy as you
Right.
want.
I know exactly what
And
you're referencing.
now you're sitting here playing the game like, yo, does this double XL really? Is this fitting me the way I think it should be fitting me? Then what happens? Now you're cheese. You're stressed. Like, what? A double XL is fitting me like this?
XXL, by the way.
Yeah. Like XXL. Like, why is this sitting on me? Like, nah.
Now, okay, so here's a very interesting question for you.
Please.
And I promise you, it's not a trick question. Obviously, there was a certain stage in your life where you were unhappy physically,
Yes.
but at the same time, you were unapologetically yourself.
Yeah.
So obviously, at that time, external perception of you was still, oh man, look, this guy's big.
Yeah.
And whereas you inside were like, I am Jimm.
Yeah.
This is who I am, whether I am a medium, whether I'm a XXL.
Mm-hmm.
Going through kind of that interesting comparison, and you know when you take both perspectives into account, what really just told you, man, this can't be me anymore. I feel uncomfortable standing.
Yeah.
I'm wearing clothes sizes that I shouldn't even be partaking in.
At all.
You know, physically I understand, but mentally, where were you in that stage?
When I was putting on weight, I probably was the most like unhappy with how things were. I was always okay. When I was putting on weight, I was always unhappy with how things were going. Whether it be a relationship, whether it be business. I put on the most weight during COVID. Like, I was just really uncomfortable with how things were going.
Yes, I think everyone ballooned in COVID too.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, like if you're somebody in COVID, sorry, who was fortunate enough to lose weight, God bless you, man.
God bless.
Yeah,
Who God bless, no
you,
man
bro.
can curse.
Tell you that much because you are one of the strongest soldiers. Because it was hard to cut weight in COVID. You're just trying food. There's mukbangs. It was, anyways.
A tough time.
It was tough times. So mentally, to answer your question, yes, I was always in a difficult space where I felt uneasy.
Sure.
And against the key word to this conversation is uncomfortable.
Yes.
How things were going, where things were going, how do we get out of it? Not like COVID itself, just business, right? Personal life, how things were going, where things were going. How am I gonna make rent this month? How am I gonna make this car payment? How am I gonna do
That's
this?
tough.
How am I gonna hit this? And then, I always talk about this point, but like being ethnic, at times
Sure.
when things are good, you eat food. When things are bad, you eat food. And then you grow that way. You grow up that way, and those habits don't suddenly break because
No
you're 30 by
chance.
yourself. No, bro, things are rough. You know what,
Eat.
man? Yeah, let me get that 5 piece of chicken joy ASAP. Dark meat. Keep the white meat over there. Send the dark meat.
Chicken thigh, baby.
You know what I mean? Yeah, send it. Like that's what you.
With
would
the
go
gravy,
with.
right?
And the biscuit. Let's keep it real here, and the macaroni on the side. Let's keep it real here. If we're gonna do this, let's have a real conversation. You know what I mean? So those habits that you've built up over the course of life, they stick with you.
Yes.
So when you're in these dark places, you run to whatever vice you may have.
Oh, absolutely.
Fortunately, drinking wasn't a vice for me at that time.
Okay.
It was not. It wasn't the one that I had to run to. Like, okay, things are bad.
Here's a shot.
Yeah, let me take a shot to. No, thankfully, thank you, Jaw, for that. But food, it definitely was.
The go-to.
And maybe it's not ordering food, but it's trying new food recipes and cooking in abundance and eating a lot of it because you live alone. You don't want to waste the food because now it becomes wasteful.
Right.
So anybody that lives alone, you cook food.
Yes.
And for me, I always cooked food the way my parents cooked food, which is in abundance because
Yes.
you're not going to go out and buy a little quarter chicken and go back home.
Oh, man,
No,
no.
you're buying pieces of the quarter chicken and you thaw it out and you cook everything.
Yeah, it serves 12 for 3 people.
Yes, exactly.
It doesn't stop, Jim. The pot is massive.
Brother. But that's how we've, been accustomed to.
Right.
And that's how they sell the food in the grocery stores, and that's what you purchase, and that's what you run to.
Exactly.
So in these spaces where you run to whatever your comfort might be, if it's food, whether it's buying food or cooking the food, you do it probably in excess.
Wow.
Because that's what you're dealing with, and you want to comfort, you want to feel it, and that's what you want to eat, and that's what you do, and then it continues because that cycle is something you suddenly just break.
And also to your point, when you have such a big pot and you cook in abundance, you don't even eat because you're hungry. You eat simply because it's there. Not only do you eat simply because it's there, it's because what else is there to do?
Can we insert the Arthur fist right here? That is exactly what it is. You've made the food.
It's there.
At like 12, it's done at 3. You box it again. Before you put it away, like, what? I'm actually hungry. You crush it again. Now you're not thinking about like, you know what I mean? You don't want to be wasteful.
Yes.
You spent the money.
Right.
So you don't want, you know what I'm saying? It's out of your pocket. So like, yeah, of course I'm boxing this. Like, I'm eating this. I spent the money on it. Why wouldn't I do it? And now you're boxing, now you're overeating.
Yes.
And then if you're in that mental headspace where things aren't the greatest, maybe that like quarter chicken is now a half chicken because you've added a thigh and a leg. You know what I mean?
So here's my final question for you.
Please.
My final question is, and I'm happy to elaborate this on the next episode too, but final question for you for this evening is, you and I as people of color.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you don't just break these habits overnight.
Mm-hmm.
It is almost impossible to do so.
Yes.
Almost. Keyword almost.
Yeah.
Now, how does one, and you don't have to be a person of color for you to give me your perspective,
Mm-hmm.
but how do you get away from that scarcity mindset? Where if I don't eat this now, who knows if it'll be here tomorrow? Because that's how a lot of us were brought up.
Yeah.
And that is, it's for generations. We've cleaned our plates, mirror finish.
Man.
How do you get out of that scarcity mindset?
You know what? I think it's tough. I think it's hard. For me, what I had to do was, first I had to acknowledge my relationship with food and when I ran to it. Those are the two things that were very important to me. And I have a very weird relationship with food because I do enjoy eating food. And you know what I mean? Like I do. Course. But I don't enjoy eating food when I'm not in the right headspace. What I mean by that, obviously, like I was speaking to earlier, is when things aren't going well, I don't want to run to food. When I'm sick, people are like, yo, I want chicken soup, I want this, whatever.
Soup, yes.
Bro, I want food. I want the food that's gonna make me feel like I'm wrapped up in a blanket and being hugged. I want food. That's what I want.
That's the default, right?
And that's the problem. So I would realize things weren't going well after a ball game, whether playing or coaching or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I bet. Let's go. Let's get some food.
Little reward.
A little reward, or just a little pick me up.
Right.
Right? Because I think because that's what I know. Mm-hmm. But we do reward ourselves with food. And I always feel like
all the time, actually.
All the time, and food shouldn't always be a reward. Hey, Trizzy, you got a new job? Bet, let's go to dinner. Oh, yo, you going through a breakup? Bet, let's go to dinner. Yo,
let's talk about it over dinner.
Let's talk about, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and those are the things that you have to understand, firstly, and figure out ways to kind of like break that habit.
Right.
And then, but then you got to replace it with something. And what you replace it with
secret
is very,
sauce right here. Listen close.
Very important.
Listen close.
So I was able to. So when it happened, when I started realizing that when I was in a bad mood, like I would run to food. I'm a person that hyper fixates on things.
Yes.
So when I realized I was had the habit where I ran to food, I would do something else. So fortunately for myself, I really got into anime during. I really got into anime during COVID. So whenever I was having like a bad mood or whatever, I would just binge watch something.
And it takes you through hours.
And then by the time hours you get past and you're in a better mood, then you can better regulate yourself to be like, okay, I don't need a large plate of.
It's when you're actually needing sustenance.
You see what I'm saying?
Not because you're bored.
Yeah, and the last point, tie this all together. Needing sustenance doesn't mean you have to eat. Needing sustenance means you have to eat like with
3
your
portions
eyes or the biggest portions or go back. And I'm not shaming nobody for that. I wanted that to be very clear. Like,
Sure.
don't feel uncomfortable with going in and wanting more food. If you want more food, you want more food. That it is what it is.
Yes.
I'm just saying, understand your triggers. Start with that. If you understand what is making you want to run to drinking, what's making you want to run to just rolling up that blunt, taking mushrooms, eating whatever it is your vices. We're speaking about food right now because that's just what is
Sure.
these types together. But it can legitimately be anything.
Yes.
So if your vice is I need to shop and have a bad day, I want you to think about that.
That
And how
trigger.
think about the trigger. What got you there? Don't quit your job. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Please, not in this economy.
Yeah, not in this economy.
Please.
But think about it.
Yes.
Like, okay, I had a bad day at job. I had a bad day at work. Is get shots. But when those bad days start stacking,
That means you're drinking every day? Is that your solution?
and then what happens next?
Right.
Understand what brought you to this point and how you can be better.
Yes.
So if your job is stressing you out, when you leave your job, whatever you're able to do to release that stress
Sure.
doesn't have to be your vice. You can find something else. Go hoop, go to the gym, no pun intended, whatever. Watch a show, watch a movie, go for a walk, get a pet, call your gal, call your mom, call them. Do whatever you have to do.
You lean in your community.
Lean into whatever you have that's gonna make it a little bit easier for you not to run to your vices, and then break it down from there. Or
This
just
is
eat.
sage advice, Jim. Sage advice.
Yeah, man, you have my days.
Lived through experience. I love it. Jim, listen, it's been a pleasure. Absolute pleasure being your co-host for episode 1. I think this is so special to me because you and I are quite similar in nature.
Yes.
And I really appreciate you bringing me on and really realizing that what you once wanted is now here. So congratulations, first and foremost.
You know what? First of all, thank you for allowing me to share this
Yes.
with you first. Thank you for sitting here and kind of controlling how conversation works. And furthermore, man, many more.
Many more.
Many more. I want to thank everybody out there for watching. If you made this far, first of all, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes.
God bless. Appreciate you guys. Be safe. You are in the gym with Jimm.
And this is Tristan from Driven by Will. Lastly, I want to tease something a little bit.
Go ahead.
We have a very, very special guest next weekend.
We do.
And you'll come to find out once that gets filmed and recorded. But stay tuned because episode 2 is going to be something really, really special.
Yeah, it's going to be real wavy, I would say. It's going to be real wavy.
There we go.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.